we're putting the focus on a development in Telangana. United Breweries has halted beer supply to Telangana State Beverages Corp, which acts for the Telangana government. What could be the implications of such a move for UBL? And interestingly, this news came in yesterday, but since then there's been a back and forth between what the company is saying and what the Telangana government is saying. Now, just some context to this, a lot of alco-bev companies had seen their stocks run up when Telangana reversed its liquor policy to allow more players to sell in the state. What does this latest development mean? Harsh joins in to tell us more.
Well, yes. So let me first start off with what transpired yesterday. And there was a knock on stocks as well on the back of this. Suspension of supply of not just beer, but all alcohol to the Telangana State Beverage Corporation. Now, to try and break down what this corporation does, it's the authority acting on behalf of the government of Telangana. It has a monopoly on sale of both wholesale as well as retail sale of liquor in the state. And it largely accounts for 5.5 crore cases being sold in the state. So all the 5.5 crore cases sold through this single corporation. In terms of why the decision to actually stop supply, around 3 to 4 reasons. One, they've not revised the basic price of the company's liquor since 2019-20, predominantly beer. Significant overdues remain unpaid by the company to the suppliers of liquor, and the industry is demanding a 30 to 35% price increase. This is not just UBL, this is industry wide. So from August of 2024, there have been talks which are on, which they have continuously guided, rather the industry companies which are coming and speaking are guiding that there is going to be an increase. Talks are on, but that increase has not happened. In fact, realizations in Telangana are 25 to 30% lower than the national average as well. So definitely warrants a price increase. Now, in terms of UBL's commentary at the end of Q1 FY25, one, they're saying more than 6 months of dues pending from the state government. They are saying dues are impacting working capital of the company. The money received in comparison is minuscule. They are saying that UBL has receivables of more than 900 crore outstanding from Telangana, but that's UBL. The industry as a whole has 5,000 crore of receivables from Telangana. What is the option now for Telangana state? It's twofold. One is either you agree to a price increase or you do an alternate supply. You figure out ways in which other beverage companies can substitute for the demand here. Currently, it seems that they have around 8 to 10 days worth of stock available with them. The response from the Telangana State Corporation, one, UBL is exercising monopoly pressure. Mind you, UBL accounts for 70% of the liquor distributed in Telangana. And UBL is seeking a price hike of 33% on this. The increase would place undue financial burden on consumers. The price revision committee led by a retired judge is currently reviewing the matter, and what they have also stated and quoted is that 658 crore in dues remain pending for UBL. Now, with regard to the impact on both UBL as well as the state, because it's going to be a dual impact. First on UBL, UBL accounts for around 70% of the volumes in Telangana. Telangana accounts for around 18 to 20% of UBL's volume. So that's quite sizable for both parties. The state loses major excise revenue coming in, and the state should have around 8 to 10 days of stock left. So they have, point being of this, they have 8 to 10 days to make a decision on which way they will go. Now, in terms of past instances, and this is interesting because in Kerala also this happened, where Indian-made foreign liquor players came together and stopped supply completely. The Kerala government revised that in a couple of days and they agreed to all the terms. But this is not all players. This time around it's different. This is a single player taking a stand. What's the Govt view coming in? Now, Govt is suggesting that the short term, this is negative. because you will see Telangana push back on some of these. But it's a significant positive over the longer term. The company asking for a price increase of 90 to 100 rupees. What they've done is they've taken out data for a 50 rupee price increase, and they believe a 50 rupee price increase would impact EBITDA by 175 crore in FY25, which is 17 to 18% of FY25 EBITDA and 10 to 12% of FY27 EBITDA. So significant impact with regard to EBITDA if even half of this price increase were to go through. This is of course very interesting, but what Daulat is saying, tough in the short term, better in the long term. So it's an opportunity to buy according to Daulat.
Okay, and you know, the Telangana State Minister on this and their comments I thought were also interesting, Harsh, because they have come out and said very clearly that UBL is trying to push this because it's a monopoly, that there are dues. In fact, their dues are about 658 crores to the UB group. But on the other hand, they are saying that a 33% hike in prices is not something that they're keen to do. They've criticized UB's tactics, is how they've called it, and saying that UB is trying to burden consumers with prices soaring to 200 to 220 rupees per bottle from the current 150. We can't succumb to such pressure. I mean, I don't know, I find it interesting. Why does the government have to come in and ensure cheaper beer prices? I'm not sure what kind of a policy move that is, but definitely a hit for UBL. I just want to get your perspective, Harsh, on what this means for other alco-bev players, because UBL, of course, has a lion's share in that market.
Well, yes, it benefits, of course, disproportionately other alcohol players, largely because UBL has such a large market share and such a large part of the volume comes from which UBL produces goes straight to Telangana. For statistics, 70% of Telangana's total consumption comes from UBL, and therefore other players will likely snap that up if there is no resolution here. That's point number one. Point number two, 18 to 20% of UBL's volumes go to Telangana, and therefore UBL will have to find substitutes. Therefore, in the short term, it's definitely a drag if there is no resolution. If there is a resolution, of course, in the next 8 to 10 days, it's favorable to UBL. Clearly, because you'll have some of those numbers reflecting right off the bat in UBL's FY25 Q4 numbers as well as in FY26 financials. So 8 to 10 days is something that you'll have to look out for, after which, if that were to get exhausted, it will start disproportionately benefiting other alco-bev companies, something like a Radico Khaitan and others who will start benefiting from this trend.